Hey there, Pisces. Welcome to your reading for, this is a March bonus reading, because why not? We're also just going to do a free flow reading here, because why not, right? And you start off here in your first row with this. There's a change coming, what does it say? There's a change for the better coming your way. So there you go. You have the Ten of Pentacles, the Six of Swords. I mean, this has been your challenge for a little bit of time here, Pisces, is the Six of Swords. I'm pretty sure in the readings that I just did for you for the week of March 6th that that either I said something similar or you had the Six of Swords in your reading. And, the whole point of the Six of Swords is that this woman and the child, they only have the clothing on their back. They didn't bring anything, across the choppy waters with them. So they only kind of brought their clothing. That's it. They're making a complete sacrifice, which we actually see with the Ace of Swords as well. The Ace of Swords can represent some sort of like complete sacrifice or, letting go of something that no longer serves you, and kind of doing it so that you can improve your life. And look, I mean, are you kidding me here, Pisces? Definitely some sort of improvement. Wouldn't even worry about the Tower, is what I would say, but there's clearly a change. The Tower could just be a change as well. It says just because you don't see it, it doesn't mean that nothing is happening. I feel like you feel like that. Like I literally feel, Pisces, that you could be feeling like nothing is changing. Everything's the same. I don't see any change. But I feel like things are changing, and it might be behind the scenes. You have the Ten of Pentacles here as well. Ten of Pentacles definitely could be some increases in your finances. So if you're hoping to increase your finances, a lot of opportunity. Again, it is going to require extra work. I know people don't, for whatever reason, don't want to hear that, but it just is what it is. Saturn moving into your first house, even though your first house doesn't have to do with money, doesn't matter. It's like when you increase your money, your place in the world expands. What's the whole point of the first house? How people see you, how you expand into the world. Like, duh, are you kidding? So don't be afraid to put in the work. I would be putting in smart work, though, not hard work with the Ten of Pentacles. Ten of Pentacles is a card of education, can represent hidden or secret information. So I feel like there's like information that you could be learning about your job, about your business, about your career, but you're going to have to go and look for it. I've been saying this for years, mostly because we had Saturn and Capricorn back in 2016, 2017, that time frame. And since then, we also had Pluto in Capricorn. And the whole point of this, me saying this, is Pluto's changing signs into Aquarius this year. But again, it's like when a planet changes signs, the planet is like, did you learn what you had to learn? Did you learn the lesson? Or are you just going to keep living life exactly the same way? So especially when it's like a generational planet, it's time for us to upgrade, right? And that's what I'm seeing here. You have the Six of Swords. Again, you're sacrificing something. Here, some of you could be causing a Tower moment for a person. You could be accepting a Tower moment into your life is what I'm getting as well. It's funny that on the Eight of Wands, he's aiming towards the Tower, right? And sometimes I do feel that we choose to have a Tower moment. People might be saying, oh my God, that's so horrible. Why would you want to have a Tower moment? And I always say, no, Tower moments are good. Tower moments are part of life. It's part of the major arcana. We are always moving through the major arcana. So we will always be experiencing Tower moments, and the Tower has to fall anyway. The whole point of the Tower is that everything is the same with the Tower. It represents not seeing reality. So it could be like a shock to the system or a strike to reality. For some of you, I feel like you're causing a Tower moment for another person, though. So, it is what it is. You have the King of Wands. I mean, I don't know. I feel like for weeks I've been saying that this is who you are. Yes, I understand that you're not a fire sign, but I really feel this is the energy that you are embracing at this time. And again, I've been saying this for like months, probably longer. And, I really feel that you are kind of in this building entrepreneurial energy. Even if you're not starting a business, doesn't matter. You could be starting something. You could just be treating something as if it's like a baby. I always say that he really raises things like they're babies. He really, really takes care of the things that he cares about. It could be anything. Could be his health, could be his business, could be his friendships, right? So it's like, to me, I feel like you're sitting in this energy of really caring about the things that you care about and really trying to take control. I do feel that for some of you, there's clearly new love that could be coming in for you here. It looks like it's from a distance here, and it could be an Aries. And I feel like you've had an Aries all up in your business, or I don't know, it's probably you, Pisces. I don't want to call you out, but it's probably you that's all up in Aries business. Are you kidding? With the Ten of Pentacles, you have this acquisition card. Damn, Pisces. I'll tell you what, this is my fancy couple card. Could be a Taurus coming in for you as well. But this is my fancy couple card. This is the Oracle of the Radiant Sun. So there could be like a fancy person coming in for you if you're looking for love. Someone who really kind of is equally yoked, as the kids say nowadays, right? And if it's not a person, I feel like you're matching up with your purpose, but I'm afraid of it, is what I feel like saying. I feel like if I put myself in your shoes and I think about something that I want to start working on, it's like I'm scared to start working on it. I feel like I don't have everything in place. I'm hearing like legal things as well. It's like maybe some of you want to start something, but it's like maybe you feel like there are certain legal requirements, and maybe there are. I'm not suggesting that you break the law, but I would just learn about it and start educating yourself. With the Six of Swords, you have the Seduction card, Jupiter and Pisces. There's definitely a change in your love life. I've been talking to you about this for a long time. Because Jupiter's now in Aries, and I think that there could be a really solid love connection coming in for you at this time, and it could be any time this year, just so you know, but definitely could be a very strong connection. I don't think you want to be seduced by something. You have this right here, Knight of Wands to the Four of Swords to the Empress. And I didn't even realize that you have the two of them right here. So definitely a divine counterpart coming in for you. But I feel like you're looking for your divine counterpart. I feel like you've dealt with a lot of breadcrumbing with the Knight of Wands, like someone who is, probably multiple people who are inconsistent. There's something about like lessons here, popping into my head, especially for those of you that are looking for love. I feel like the universe is saying, like, did you learn your lesson to trust yourself when you get into a situation with a person who just wastes your time? Like, are you trusting yourself now, or like, what are you doing? So I feel like there's good love coming in, but I feel like it's also saying, like, be careful of, number one, definitely a person from the past coming this direction for sure, especially if they're trying to like mess up your day, with the Eight of Wands to the Tower. With the King of Wands, you have the Practicality card. It really, it cracks me up because it's like one of those things where there really is no good answer. If you're trying to get started on something, the answer is one foot in front of the other. This is just saying, like, take the practical steps to get started. Take the practical steps to just move forward. And it doesn't matter how simple or how easy you think it is, right? The things that you're doing, especially if you're working on a project, if you just get moving, that's where the success is. Next, you have this card that says you're shedding energies that no longer match your frequency. We see this with the Ace of Swords. So I do feel a lot of you are kind of cutting out the people, places, and things that no longer serve you. And, your dreams could be changing here, Pisces. Those are the words that are popping into my head. If we go this way right here, we have the Ace of Swords to the Four of Swords to the Page of Cups. There's something about like your dreams changing. And I'm not saying like these are like, oh, your like major dreams. I'm saying like maybe there are certain things where you thought you wanted your life to go one direction, but now you're realizing, well, actually I want something else, And so I feel like the Tower could be some changes. And, I think that's a very Piscean thing. Like, I don't really know how to describe it, but it's like, I don't think Pisces is ever like ready for something until they're ready for something. And what the hell do I mean by that? It's like, well, it's like, me, for example, I like work on projects, but it's like sometimes I come up with a project idea and I start talking about it, which is always a mistake. So, keep your ideas to yourself. But it's like it takes me a long time to get started, on my project sometimes, because it's like, I don't know, I'm not ready until I'm ready, And the interesting thing that I get here, and I think if you're a Pisces sun watching this, I think maybe you understand this. It seems to me like you haven't been ready, and now you are ready, is what I feel like this reading is saying. I hope that makes sense. You have the Four of Cups here. I feel pretty good about this, actually. Normally, I don't like the Four of Cups, but it's almost as if the ingredients are coming together. It's like everything, it's kind of like the, it's like the perfect storm. Didn't I say this to you recently, Pisces? It's almost as if, it's the perfect storm. Everything's kind of aligned or in the right place for you to get started. It's like you're more open maybe to mystery as well with the Knight of Wands. He always has these pyramids on the back of his card. This is the after tarot, so they added this Sphinx. But, in the tarot, the pyramids represent mystery. They represent kind of like not being sure how to build something or not being sure how to do something. And I feel like you're okay now. It's like I get this energy of being okay of stepping into the unknown, being okay mixing things up, being spontaneous, not needing to know the answers. It's kind of like you're just willing to take the risk. Sorry, Pisces. I had snots running down my face, so I had to go blow my nose. But you have the, again, Knight of Wands here. So as I was saying, I feel like you kind of like are willing to take the risk now with this energy. Again, I do feel like you're avoiding this energy as far as people are concerned. Not really, I wouldn't really necessarily, there is good love here. I wouldn't really call it a love reading, but what I would say is that you see this Four of Swords. It's like there's a lady who's waking this man up here on the Four of Swords. So, you know, it could be one of those things where maybe you've kind of just been working on yourself, working on your businesses, whatever, where your career, you've been learning things, and there could be a person who's kind of like waking you up here. You have the Ace of Swords, definitely a victory coming in for you. Sorry, didn't switch. So definitely a victory coming in for you here, and I also feel this could be talking about a sacrifice. I would be careful of, like, if you don't want to hear the truth from a person, like let's say you have a past person, you're a Pisces, so you probably know that there might be some things that are like either this person was a liar or they were inconsistent. You know, if you don't want to have a tower moment, I would definitely, you know, be careful with this tower energy showing up here, Pisces. But let's see what is going on here. With the Four of Cups, you have this resistance card. It's like that's the thing that needs to be overcome, as well as like the resistance, you know. And when we are very close to our goal, one of my favorite books of all time, The War of Art, you know, he says when we're very close to our goal, that's when we experience the most resistance. So I feel like you are getting to this place where you're pushing past resistance. With the Knight of Wands, you have the Order card. Kind of ties in very well with this practicality card here. It's like there's, you know, I kind of feel, and even two Taurus cards right here, right? So, you know, I kind of get this energy of one foot in front of the other for you, Pisces. Like, I feel like it would be just a good idea for you to come up with like a plan that's like super simple and just stick to the plan, whatever it is, even if you're not, you know, I think it's like more about getting momentum moving in the right direction. You know, for example, I'm working on a bunch of projects at once, which is crazy, but for a reason. And it's like I've come to the conclusion that I have a list of 100 things I'm going to do on one channel, and I'm just banging it out, right? I don't care about results. I don't care what it looks like. I just need to get the momentum moving in that direction. But again, it's kind of funny that's coming up like this because, you know, the things I'm doing, very practical, very simple, maybe won't get millions of views, but, you know, again, it's getting the momentum moving. And I really feel for those of you that are working on new projects, new businesses, new whatever, that kind of just like, even if you just come up with a list of like 20 things to do to get the momentum going, that's what's needed here, just like those practical steps. With the Ace of Swords, you have this innovation card. Yeah, you're an innovator. There's nothing, I said this to you in your last reading. It's like there's nothing and no one to compare yourself to. So if you're thinking to myself, if you're thinking to yourself like, oh, I'm not as successful as I want to be or whatever, it's like, no. The thing is there's just no one to compare yourself to. So I feel like you need to keep moving here, Pisces, in the right direction, more or less. Next, you have this hourglass card. It says time is of the essence. So I would get moving here. Like I wouldn't waste time, of course. I don't think you have to rush or anything like that. I don't think that's what this card is suggesting. But it's kind of funny because just the other day I was reading this book, The Innovation Stack, it's called. In the book, the guy basically says like he's not intuitive or anything. Well, maybe he is. He just doesn't know it, right? But he's not referring to this like intuitively or anything, although he kind of is. He basically says in this book that if you have an idea that like doesn't exist in the world yet, you might feel a lot of resistance to it, and that's because no one else has thought of it yet. But once it enters into the collective consciousness, that's it. You know, then someone else is going to start working on it. So sometimes like doing something that's so new is a good thing because like no one else has thought of it yet. And I get that feeling for you where some of you are working on some things that are just very new, and maybe it doesn't feel exactly right just because no one's created it yet. You're meant to create it, right? So I would get moving. You have the Emperor, you have the Empress. Definitely could be a divine counterpart coming in for you. I feel like you're going to take it very slow. You know, it could be a Scorpio as well, I'm getting here. Aries, Scorpio, Taurus really stands out to me. Obviously, you have like a ton of Taurus cards here. What's this? Capricorn. So you have a lot of Earth. You have Virgo as well in the Oracle of the Radiant Sun. So it could be whatever. But again, I do feel it could be a divine counterpart. I also feel this is just saying you're ready for action. You have the Four of Swords. You know, again, if there is love coming in for you, I feel like this person kind of warms you up, wakes you up. Maybe you've been taking a break from love. And, you know, again, you have that Page of Cups. So I wouldn't be too guarded, Pisces. Like, you know, yes, I understand being hurt. But at the same time, it's like, that's more about the past person. It's not about you. So, I feel like you need to realize that not everyone is going to be the Knight of Wands, inconsistent, in and out breadcrumber type of energy here. And, I feel like you need to realize that it's like not everyone is like that. So, I would like open up if you want love, basically. You have the Eight of Wands. Again, I don't hate this, but I don't like it either right here, because this to me could be communication from a past person, and they could be telling you something that you don't really want to hear. I get the feeling that you were like this person's side person. Maybe you don't realize it. I kind of feel like this person would maybe only talk to you at night, for example. So it kind of gives me the vibes that maybe you just didn't realize it, but you were kind of like on the side. I feel like you've realized it now. But I would be careful, because they might be coming in with some more, truths because they feel bad, but these truths could really hurt with the Tower. So I would be definitely careful of that Tower situation. With the Emperor, you have this extremism card. I would be careful of anything, for the rest of your life, basically. I would be careful of anything extreme, any extreme ideas, any extreme thinking, those types of things. We have Neptune moving into Aries in 2026, but I know that's like a few years away, but it doesn't really matter. I would say like no looking for a savior, with Neptune and Aries. Neptune and Aries, it's like when Neptune goes into Aries, my concern about this, as I have said before, is that everyone could just be looking for someone to give us like a Band-Aid solution, like very, very quickly to whatever problems are going on in the world. But usually these Band-Aid solutions are just Band-Aid solutions. They don't really solve the problem, and they create bigger problems. So, I would listen to yourself at this time. With the Four of Swords, you have this defense card. Yeah, I feel like some of you are protecting yourself from a past person, or you're putting your defenses up. Another card, a Taurus, by the way. And now I'm choking. But, I feel for a lot of you, this is kind of like saying, you might need to protect yourself from a past person. With the Eight of Wands, you have this eccentricity card. Yeah, I feel like your path is very different than most people's. I feel like you need to realize that. This eccentric energy has come up for quite a few people just over the past couple of years, or over the last year since I've been using these cards. But this is Saturn in Aquarius, and what I would say here is that I think that eccentric solutions or your crazy ideas could be very valuable, could even lead to a shakeup here, but, that could be a good thing, so don't be afraid to shake things up either. It's like, I kind of feel like the Tower for you is good and bad. It's like, it could be someone kind of like messing up your day, so I'd be careful of that. I definitely get that energy, but I also think it could be you like shaking things up, which could be a good thing. In this last row, you have this conch shell. It says messages from beyond communication. I would trust your intuition. I do feel that for some of you, there is clearly a person that could be communicating with you with that Page of Cups, like an admirer. Again, you have the Emperor and the Empress. It could be surprising with the Tower. I mean, again, the Tower can be a good surprise as well, so it could be surprising communication. You have this Page of Cups. Again, I always say with the Page of Cups, that fish is jumping out of that cup on this Page of Cups. You got to grab on to your ideas. You got to make it happen, Pisces. So don't be afraid to make something happen here with the Page of Cups. Don't be afraid to grab on to one of your dreams, and definitely don't let it slip away, is what I feel like this is saying. I feel like there's so much abundance and so much success coming in for you here. It's kind of funny because I do have the word burden popping into my head, and the reason why is like she is wearing very heavy clothing. You can see that it kind of folds into the creases of her body, and it's meant to represent quality, the Empress, right? But it can also represent kind of a burden. It's heavy. Like what she is wearing is heavy. So it's like sometimes to have a glow up, for example, it does come at like a certain cost. Maybe you have to cut certain people out of your life. Maybe you can no longer, accept certain things in your life. And I kind of feel that's what the Tower is. It kind of makes sense as well because Saturn's moving into your sign, which is significant maturity energy. It's like really maturing very quickly. So a lot of you Pisces could be stepping into new mature kind of roles in life, not just work, but like in any area of your life. But kind of like sometimes along with maturity comes like certain burdens, right? These aren't bad things. Obviously, you're going to be glowing up, but there just might be certain things that you're not going to be able to do anymore, or that you just won't be doing anymore because you don't want to do them. And again, that's the key here. It's like these aren't things that you necessarily want to do. I think there are certain things like that you don't want to do, and you're going to be not doing those things. I don't really have a good example except for like, I don't know, like last year I quit drinking, for example. And it's like, I kind of wanted to drink, but at the same time, it's like I feel significantly better not drinking. And I'm not like a big drinker in the first place, right? So it's like you could be making decisions like that, where it's like you don't necessarily like want to give it up, but whatever it is, but you are. With the Page of Cups, you have this Control card. And it's like the World card. To me, I feel like there could be some achievements coming in for you. You have how many? Let's see. You have 1, 2, 3 Jupiter cards showing up in your reading. So definitely could be getting the rewards of Jupiter at this time, which is very nice. With the Empress, you have the Enterprise card, another Jupiter card, Jupiter and Aries. We have Jupiter and Aries right now. If you're thinking about starting something, I'm telling you, it is going to be very successful, but you have to get started. So, this is like having a business, and you have the Emperor and the Empress. It's like even outside of love, having those two together is like having your energies inside yourself balanced. It's like being able to, create something or nurture something into existence, like I was saying earlier. So a lot of success. With the Tower, you have the Fulfillment card. Yeah, I feel like you've been waiting for fulfillment as well, especially for love. Like if you have been waiting for love, maybe you've been waiting for a long time with this energy. But I do feel like there is fulfillment coming in for you here, Pisces, with this energy. We're going to pull 5 main themes now, just to end the reading and see what else could be coming in for you. You have this bird perched. It says waiting for news, package, or letter. Sometimes I feel like that you have that conch shell, which says communication on it. Then you have the Tower. It's like there could be surprise communication coming in for you if you've been waiting. You have this boat card. It says money or property through an inheritance, winning, or windfall. 10 of Pentacles. So there definitely could be a lot of success coming in for you. Just based off your astrology, I would say that your money is going to come in through work that you're doing. So, keep working. You have this Archway card. It says new opportunity, possibilities, or paths opening up. This is going to come through maturity. It's like doing something mature. And again, I gave you another example earlier in the reading, actually. It's like coming up with a list of like 20 things to do to get your business started, or to, improve in your career, or whatever the case may be. It's like following that list would be an act of maturity. And, I always tell people, it's like Saturn gets a bad rap, I think, personally, right? Because if we do the work, we get the rewards right away with Saturn. Most planets, you have to wait until the planet leaves the sign before you get the rewards. With Saturn, it's like, oh, well, they're doing the work, so here you go, right? So do the work. Don't be afraid to, again, do those things, simple things. You have this Goldfish card. It says increase in material wealth or spiritual growth. Yes, definitely an increase in your wealth here, Pisces, for sure. And finally, you have this Weeping Willow. It says family sorrow. There could be like some sort of Tower moment. Again, I feel like this is something you've already been going through, but, overall, I feel like this is a really good reading, and it wouldn't surprise me if everybody got the Tower again. I had a weird dream about a volcano exploding the other day, so, I don't know. Hopefully not, but there could be some weird stuff going on in the world. Let's put it that way. But thank you for being here, Pisces. Really appreciate it, and definitely enjoy the rest of March.